standing in the face of adversity right here. This is not fun to share. This is not easy to share, but you know what? This is the fucking reality, and I'm ripping it. Everyone's got a story, and this is mine as an entrepreneur. The beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, I had a little more success than I would have thought. I was making couple $100,000 a year, but the word got around town that Tyler Kelly was doing well. And someone suggested that I get my retirement going because I was the only one that was going to support myself. It was a little bit of an ego stroke. And I was like, yeah, I need a plan for my future because no one else is going to plan for me, right? And so I took this reference from someone that I didn't know super well. And this reference came over, sat me down, talked about this whole grand retirement plan. And lo and behold, I bought into a big ass life insurance policy. A whole life policy that he sold the shit out of me on. And I love to be sold, man. I love being sold on anything that makes me feel like I have control, that I'm making the sole decision on. And this was one of those moments where I kind of had a big head, and it really made me feel good. Like, wow, I'm taking a responsible step in my fucking life to prepare for my future, to set myself up for success. And no one's funding this except me. Multi-million dollar life insurance policy. It was not a retirement plan. I was banking on the 0.01% chance that I got hit by a fucking bus at 24 years old. That hit hard because years later, I had put $110,000 in, and another friend that I had developed a good relationship with in business was a financial advisor, and he kindly asked, hey, you mind if I take a look at this policy and see what you're investing in here? Sure, man, absolutely. Ego got to me. Take a look. I'm dumping $2,000 a month into this sucker. And he looks and says, oh man, I hate to tell you, dude, this is all going towards a life insurance policy that's not amounting to anything in your future. And my heart sunk, but you know, $110K at the time was a lot of money. It was a lot for me. And honestly, it was a frustrating moment. It was an oh shit moment. It was a moment of how dare someone take advantage of me. But you know what? I don't blame the individual that sold me in, because he learned in an industry that is very tunnel vision. They learn one way and that's all they know. So to him, I truly believe, and this is what I keep in my subconscious mind and makes me feel at peace with the situation, that he truly felt he was doing the right thing for me, selling me on that whole life insurance policy. And that's okay. I learned from this mistake. It forged me to become stronger and realize, hey, I made my first big mistake, not just in life, but in business. And I've heard a few times, even at this early stage in business, that more will come. After a few years of being this solopreneur, making a few $100,000 a year, living large, a life that I would have never imagined coming from making freaking $20,000 a year as a trainer working my ass off, I got bit in the ass by a business partner that I started my current venture with, InstaShred. Finally started a company, said, you know what, I'm gonna go outside the solopreneur box and do something as a brand, as a team. I'm gonna build something bigger than just myself. And this individual turned out to be someone I didn't think he was. I've always heard, be careful who you get in bed with, especially with business. It is such a long-term venture, and if there is equity stake involved, oh, it can be hairy. It can be hair pulling. And I frickin' got it handed to me, man. This guy was an alcoholic. I heard fucked up stories of this guy's going to entrepreneurial events drunk off his ass in the middle of the day. Dude, this is unreal stuff. And for me, that really hit hard, because after realizing, holy shit, this partnership is not gonna work out, I realized I was on my own again. I was on an island. I was trying to build a brand, and here I was, a solopreneur on my own. Once again, a path that I had already been down, path that I wanted to leave in the past and I wanted to move on from and become bigger and better, and I was set right back to square one. So once InstaShred got rolling, even in the slightest, we got an offer, a buyout. Damn, all right, you want equity percentage in our business that we've barely gotten off the ground? Let's go. Let's talk about buying out our concept that we're gonna fucking kill it with, right? Well, this offer was enticing, but not in the way that you'd think. We got offered a 1% stake in our company that we had sole ownership of, 100%. Not only did we get offered a 1% royalty yearly, but they wanted me to be their bitch. They wanted me to still be the face of InstaShred. I could be their little puppet on strings and do whatever they wanted to. They could turn this thing into a freaking gay pride fitness program, and I would have had to been the spokesman and the face all the way through. Wear whatever they want me to wear, dance however they want me to dance. That would have been horrible. But it was enticing because both myself and my partner's stake was over $1 million a year, free money. He didn't even have to do anything. And you know what? He was a good enough partner at the time to tell me, hey, you know, this end of the deal is much sweeter for me because I get to take my cut and just check out, and you got to stay their little bitch and do whatever they ask, because that's what was in the contract. As easy as it was to take the money, make $1 million a year off an opportunity that we had just started with and was just a proof of concept, That's enticing. A lot of people would take it. But as months went on and we considered this, we knew it wasn't right. Even though it stung to not just take the easy route and say, well, I could go build another business. Why don't I take this pile of cash and get this nice recurring income flowing yearly, and I can endure whatever I want. Heck, I wouldn't have to endure anything. Most people could live off $1 million a year just fine. But something inside me knew that wasn't what I was meant for. You know what? InstaShred's still young. I'm making this video and I'm not anything grand yet. I'm not anything people want to aspire to be like on the grand scheme of things. Come on, I'm a fucking peon. And so I realize that there's still been so much progress because we're always our own worst critic, right? And sometimes you look back on your journey and you're like, man, I haven't amounted to shit. But you know what? I've changed 4,600 plus lives to this date in the only industry I've ever worked in. Fitness, health, longevity, feeling incredible, looking amazing, living that 10 out of 10 life. I live it and I've helped other people live it. And I've actually helped change 4,600 people one-to-one. But how many lives have they gone on to affect? Families, their kids, their social circles, they're now an influence because they got their body right. And I gotta realize, man, that's still the stepping stone to the next stage, then the next stage and the next stage. And how many times have we heard you gotta fail forward? Dude, you've got to fail forward. Fitness goal, business goal, relationship, dude, you gotta go through the mud, man. And although these series of events have knocked me down a few steps, you gotta get back up, man. Especially if that's what you're meant to do, if that's your calling. It's as simple as that. You gotta keep going because not only does it feel so good, it can become fun. You can trick your mind with the positive outlook into thinking that, you know what? I'd rather be playing this game than some other game. How many people want to play the game of work 9 to 5 and go home and sit on the couch and Netflix and chill? It sounds like a good game until you do it for some just a week. Maybe others can last a month. Maybe others can, hell, last a few years doing that every day. Have some drinks on the weekend, you know. All that normie shit. It wears off, man. It leads to a 5 out of 10 life, just coasting. I think that's the biggest sense of mediocrity in our world right now, is living that coasting life. 5 out of fucking 10. That's an F on a report card. That's an F on a test. Your teacher don't pat you on the back for that one. Neither would your parents. So why are we patting each other on the back for that in life? You got your new car with the payment. It ain't yours, it's the bank's. You got your home, decent home, big ass mortgage, paying mostly interest every month, but you feel comfortable, and that's the problem. We're fucking comfortable. 5 out of 10, man. Think about that. Are you living a 5 out of 10 life? I sure as hell aren't. Ain't, am not, will not, ever. So if these are the mistakes I have to make, these are the steps I have to take and the problems that I have, if this is my problem, dude, let's go. Bring it on. That's the mentality shift of knowing, man, these situations hurt. They suck. I don't want to do this. People out there are just collecting their cushiony paycheck every 2 weeks for going in and doing their minuscule task and going home and checking out. They don't got to think about any of that shit they dealt with today. That sounds pretty nice. But then I realize 5 out of 10, mediocrity. We know it too. Whether we're in that position or not, we know it's mediocre. It's not anything exciting. It's not even living beyond ourselves most of the time. We're just taking care of ourselves, fulfilling our needs, and maybe putting some food on the table for our immediate family. But what more of an impact are you making? What mission and vision are you building out at work? Are you really doing something that's meaningful? That makes you feel so damn good at the end of the day, and when you get up, you're fucking excited to go work towards, because you're like, man, this is making an impact. This is making people smile. This is making people happier, healthier, helping them live the lives that they want. Now, you don't got to go out and conquer the world, but man, if you're doing something on a daily basis that isn't leaving an impact, there's no way as a human being we feel that good about ourselves. I couldn't do it, and I'll never be able to do it. And that's why I'm here doing this, man. Look, I was lost in a trance, man. I was lost in la la land for years of business, but I knew I had a high standard. Somehow I developed a threshold that I was willing to push past, and I'm still here. I'm still doing it. And I know I'm gonna accomplish something so great because I've already been through so much pain and turmoil that now it's just expected. You expect it to come about and you embrace it. And every time hardship comes my way, I look at it and I fucking smile. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to feel. Diamonds are made under pressure, baby. I'm born for this shit. And I sure as hell ain't done. InstaShred is just getting started. Look, we've all got a story, man. This is part of mine so far. I'm 32 years old, living my best life, feeling on top of the world, and I'm so blessed for that. I'm grateful as fuck for the life I have right now. And I've got to owe it to myself that this is the life that I've created. And I'm blessed to be able to do what I love every day, that thankfully this industry that I fell in love with so much has such a purpose outside of myself. And I wish that upon every other individual, every person's life that has been changed through InstaShred, the 4,600 plus individuals so far, I know have gone on to impact someone else because they're healthier, they're happier, they're sharper in their mind, they're fitter in their body. And there's people indirectly or directly that are being impacted by that every day, the way they carry themselves when they walk into a room, the compliments they get from other people, the inspiration that they leave on someone just realizing, dang dude, you've lost some weight. You've been hitting the gym. You seem a lot more locked in at work. Your wife says you've been better in the bedroom. You've been cooking dinner at night. You've been playing with the kids after work instead of lazily sitting on the couch. Dude, it's those little things that add up. It makes such a difference in life. And that's why I love health and fitness, and it can go for any industry. And there's so many industries that leave a lasting impact outside of just ourselves. We can not only get what we want in life, but we can go give what others want in life too. And that feels damn good. I always tell myself I get to rest my head on the pillow at the end of the night, knowing that I'm serving others outside of myself. I love it. Thanks for listening to my story. This is just the start. You'll be seeing a lot more of me.